Clients are different, people are different, we all different, we all need different modalities. So very often I'm using a combination of all of those therapies or all of those strategies from those therapies, but I always customize it to the client. So whatever the client needs, whatever we define the goals are, we're working towards achievement those specific goals using specific therapy which are evidence-based for that particular problem. People with autism sometimes got difficulty with processing the information, and talking to them may be difficult. They may take a long time to process that information, to understand what is being said. So very often we're using therapy cards which actually help them to understand the context of what we are talking about. And we can use those therapy cards to create stories which are appropriate to the client's goals, to what they wish to achieve, which are appropriate to each therapy session. And also sometimes to relax when we've got very anxious client coming to therapy, not knowing how to react, not knowing where to be, we use that. So they can actually first start drawing, and it's easy, they know how to draw, and then introduce therapy gradually. So there are different purposes why we use it. I've got a client who is passionate about using charcoal. He always uses charcoal. So we've got that too. I use figures of people, of animals, of houses, and sometimes that is serving very similar purpose to get your head around what we are discussing. So it's not just talk, but we're also doing some active play therapy in this session, and we're using those figures to express ourselves. Sometimes it's difficult to say, look, I'm facing anxiety at the moment, or I'm struggling, I don't know how to cope. But if you're showing it via figures, it sort of removes it away from you, so it doesn't look like you're saying it, yet you are saying it. So that's the purpose of those figures. We've got a variety of different games which facilitate the conversation and learning social skills without too much talk. Like sometimes people get lost when they go and have some psychological sessions and it's all cognitive behavioral therapy and it's just talk and talk and talk and they don't understand it. So when we're using tools like this, we're actually helping them to understand it a little bit better. The game which some of my staff really like to use is Would You Prefer game. Yeah? So it talks about what would you prefer? Would you prefer to go for a nap in the afternoon and have ants crawling through your legs? Or would you prefer to maybe go to the beach and have sharks chasing you in the water? Yeah? So that actually forces you to create some conversation, to answer it and to formulate sentences. Yeah? We also got board games. And in those board games, you follow you use the dice and you take the turns and you're following the prompts on that games. And it may ask you questions like, formulate the sentence starting with what? Yeah? And then you have to formulate that sentence. And for some clients, it's very difficult because they're lacking skills in this area. They're trying to learn it, how to talk to people. That's also a mindfulness tool, teaching them to tune into the sounds and to listen to the sounds and to be mindful about it. To stick to that very moment whenever other thought comes into their head, to distance themselves from that thought and focus on the using of instruments. Yeah, and that could be the positive statement which you can repeat to yourself in between the sessions. Yeah, I like feeling That's a pretty widely known tool which people are using for meditation, and Tibetan monks are using it to meditate. And we're using that in therapy with some clients to help them to learn how to focus, to help them, it's a mindfulness tool, to help them to be in here and now and learn how to really focus so they can make that singing noise. And there are different stages of difficulty in doing that as well. So that's the first stage, and later on we're actually talking with them how that can be translated from the Tibetan singing bowl into real life situation, say when they're dealing with anxiety, how can they refocus their thoughts? Doing excellent.